Hi there. We're just gonna get this off the top right away. The boss, she is sleeping. I am not going to disturb her by taking a picture. I am not going to wake her up. She is snoring away. So if you hear the little puppy snore, or sometimes it sounds more like a moan, we're just gonna have to live with it because what the boss wants, she gets. And right now, she's napping quietly. So we're just gonna leave her be. But just know, you might on occasion hear a boss snore. Although she would deny that with every fiber of her being that she snores, because she's a lady. But yeah, we'll just pretend like we don't hear it, okay? Moving on. Let's see what else. Oh, I got my hair done. I absolutely adore it. It looks fantastic. I'm very excited about it. I am still trying to figure out what's the best makeup that goes with it. So we're going to be in transition for a while, but I'm loving the new hair. I finally got to see some friends that I haven't seen before Christmas. Had a great time with them over the weekend. Had a little bit of raspberry sangria to kick off the weekend. So that was a good time. But, I guess now it's just time to buckle down and get on to what is happening this week. What's happening this week is a little segment I like to do where I tell you about some things I found out that are going on around the world this week. Now, I always give my disclaimer, which is I am not omnipotent. I can't be everywhere at once. I have made a list of all the very unique things that happen around the world. And as I find things, I just keep growing the list. And sometimes I leave some of the bigger things that happen in the United States off my list because everybody knows about them. So it's not that I don't find them important. It's just, they've kind of been talked about quite a bit. So anywho, if I've missed something that you find near and dear to your heart, please don't get mad. Remember, we're trying to be nice in 2024. Just leave me a comment below and tell me what it is and where it's at. And if it's still going on next week, I might add it to the list then, or I will definitely put it on my list for next year. There's also a couple other ways you can contact me. We'll talk about it at the end of the video. But remember, no meanies. No meanies. But before we get to all of that, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Gretchen, the Tipsy Travel Gal. I am a licensed esthetician and a travel agent, and it is my goal to eat, drink, and spa my way around the world. Bringing you with me, of course, showing you some amazing things to see, some cool things to do, and of course, delicious things to eat and drink, especially things like bourbon. My overall hope is to inspire you to travel, whether that be international or domestic. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, in the description of this video is a link to my GoFundMe page. It tells you a little bit about me, where I've come from, where I'm going, and I would love it if you check it out. If you have a couple extra bucks to spare, I would appreciate that as well. But let's move on to what's happening this week. We got quite a bit starting. Now, obviously, there's some big things happening this week. Super Bowl. Obviously, although by the time this video comes out, it's probably over with. Obviously, Mardi Gras is happening in New Orleans. Valentine's Day is a big event, but there are other things that are going on. So let's get right to it. We're going to start in Palm Springs, California. Starting on the 15th through the 25th is the Modernism Week Festival. And I know I always love it when they call something a week and then it's like more than a week. This festival is a celebration of mid-century design, art, architecture, fashion, and culture. Mid-century is one of my favorite time periods in terms of architecture. So I really wish I could be in Palm Springs this week because these houses, cars, furniture, that is right up my alley. The festival basically takes over all of Palm Springs. It's got about 350 events in total. They have home tours, like for example, Sinatra's home, Elvis's honeymoon home. There are also films and lectures. Then there's fashion shows, classic car shows, and something that I would love to see is the vintage travel trailer exhibition. There's also garden tours and walking and bike tours throughout Palm Springs. Now, along with all of this, they have nightly parties, there's live music events, but they also have like mid-century classes, like cocktail parties and classes and culinary demonstrations. So there's so much going on throughout the whole city. As always, I include all the websites for these events. This one is no different. It has all of the events listed. I wish I could go through every single one of them, but it is just so much. A lot of these classes and things go throughout the entire 10 days. Can't make it one night. There's probably another one coming right behind it. So much fun. Some of these things are free to do. So if you have a love of mid-century anything, whether it be fashion or architecture or art, head out to Palm Springs for the Modernism Week Festival. Our next stop is traveling across the Pacific to Australia. Starting on February 16th and going all the way through March 17th is the Adelaide Fringe. Perth Fringe Festival was last month, and actually it's still going on through the 18th of this month. This fringe is very similar in that to the Perth Fringe. It's just got the different flair of a different area of Australia. There's a variety of artists and performers pairing with venues and having performances throughout the entire month. Now, again, I would love to go over every single show, but there are like 1,400 performances and exhibitions. So that is basically going to be impossible for me to fit in a video. But we've got cabaret, circus, comedy, dance, film and digital. There are interactive things to do as well. Magic, music, theater, visual arts and design, workshops, talks, and this one also has a kid-friendly component to it as well. Now, some of these things are free, but the tickets are relatively reasonable, like $10 to $60 for the ones that are in venues. Just like the Fringe Festival in Perth, this one has an area of food booths and shopping that is kind of like home base for the whole festival. There are some performers and things going on in this area as well as the kid-friendly section. So if you didn't manage to get to the other Fringe Festival, head to Adelaide, Australia for the Adelaide Fringe. Now we're going to hop on back to California for our next stop for some dates. And no, I don't mean the romantic kind. The Riverside County Fair and National Date Festival is going on in Indio, California. Actually, not very far from Palm Springs. Starts the 16th, goes all the way through the 25th of February. And this festival originally was just celebrating the date harvest. And it's pretty significant, like 250,000 people come to this harvest. But then they decided to set it up as the county fair. Now in the Midwest, most of the county fairs happen during the summer because of the weather. But if you don't know Palm Springs, it gets really hot there. So of course, the late winter, early spring is a great time to have a festival. So they joined it with the Riverside County Fair. It's got all the best parts of a county fair. It's got the actual carnival itself with things like carnival rides and carnival games. But then they've got musical acts and things like monster trucks. So you're going to have some fun at the county fair. You do have to get admission and tickets to the carnival. Gate admission to get into the carnival itself is $12. Or if you want to go for all days, you can get like a $40 pass. Also, you can prepay your parking. $10 to park or $20 for VIP. And what do I always say about parking? You always pay for premium parking. Now, the special events like the music events, the monster truck shows, those are going to be extra money as well. I kind of just looked over the tickets. They range from like $5 to $50 depending upon what you're doing. So if you like dates and you want to celebrate the date harvest and you like going to a county fair, head on over to Indio, California, because you can go to the Riverside County Fair and National Date Festival. All right, we've had some delicious dates. Now we're off to the French Riviera for a citrus harvest. The Fête du Citron in Menton, France, which is on the French Riviera. I can't think of a better way to beat the Midwest winter blues than head to the French Riviera, but that's just me. Anywho, it starts on the 17th and runs all the way through March 3rd. And this is a celebration of premium lemon and citrus products because it is time to harvest the citrus in Menton. Now, throughout the city, they have sculptures that are made from lemons and oranges. They also have parades on Sundays, and the floats made from lemons and oranges. There are plenty of shows, concerts, there's a gala, and you can also do tours of the heritage sites, the citrus farms, as well as the gardens that are in the area. Trust me when I say the French Riviera is absolutely gorgeous. There are group hikes, workshops with arts, crafts, and gastronomy, and eats delicious French food with fresh citrus on top of that. Now, the parades do have stands that you need tickets for, but you don't need tickets if you just want to stand along the parade route. And all the events that are going on each have their own pricing. So like I said, if you want to get out of winter and head to the French Riviera, Menton, France is the place to be this week. We don't have to get in a plane to go to our next location because the next stop on the tour of what's going on this week is in Nice. A lot of the carnival celebrations started last weekend or last week, and they end on Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, Shrove Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. But Nice's carnival actually starts this week. It starts on the 17th and runs all the way through March 3rd. So kind of in tandem with that Fête du Citron. If you want to go to the French Riviera, you can kill two birds with one stone. This is the largest winter event in the French Riviera. Now, technically, this started in 1294 by the Count of Provence, a man named Charles d'Anjou. But by 1872, it kind of morphed into an entertainment location for the bourgeois that winter in the south of France. Now, this carnival includes costume parades, but they also have the flower battles, which are the piece de resistance of the Nice Carnival. It is an elaborate parade where all the floats are lavishly decorated with flowers. However, 100,000 flowers are distributed to the floats. So you know how in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, they chuck beads into the crowd, so you kind of have to compete for beads. So they distribute these flowers to the floats, and as they go down the parade route, they throw flowers into the crowd. I saw that there were tickets to the parades. I did see somewhere that if you come in costume that you don't have to pay, but I could not confirm that. So if you are going to go to this carnival in Nice, plan on paying for tickets. And I would definitely buy them before the trip. Make sure you secure your place in the parade line. And that is it for what's happening this week. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if I forgot something that you want me to talk about or you have a general comment, please comment below and I will get to that as soon as I can. Other ways you can reach me, I'm Tipsy Travel Gal on all of the main social media sites, so you can reach me there. Also, if you go to tipsytravelgal.com, there is a contact me page where you can send me an email. So again, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my page. And until the next time, bye.